go grab a friend and sit down and learn this tune together because you're going to have a blast rocking Layla by Derek and the Dominoes. Hey everybody, Benjamin from Beat Imagine Music Studio here, working on the song called Layla by Derek and the Dominoes. Got the album back here. Gotta have it on vinyl. Now the first thing that I want you to do when you go about studying this piece is I want you to tune your guitar to standard tuning, and then I want you to listen to the Derek and the Dominoes song and play just this D string note, because that D string is the key that they're in. If you listen to it on YouTube, I noticed that the 40th anniversary one is the one to listen to. The other one is like tuned up a whole step or something. It's kind of strange. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause my video right now and go and do that. Put the track on and play this note to it, and then come back and tell me what you think. Okay, well, what did you notice? It's out of tune, right? So when I was young, I used to struggle learning songs like this. I just thought that I had a bad ear and I wasn't a great guitar player, but I sometimes didn't realize that songs like this that were recorded in the 60s and 70s can sometimes be not at the standard tuning. So what I realized is, they might have sped up the tape a little. I think I read that somewhere, which puts it out of tune and a little sharp. So what I did is I tuned every string a little bit sharp, first by tuning my D string. Let me show you where I found it to work out. So see how I got it way over there with my snark? Then I would just tune every string to that same location. And now I'm in tune and ready to rock this tune. Of course, has Eric Clapton as the main writer and guitar player, but also has Duane Allman from the Allman Brothers Band. Got the vinyl on the wall, of course. Now, I chose this song because I always want to have songs that you guys could find a friend to get together with and work on something like this and have as much fun as you possibly can. There's 4 different parts in that beginning part, so you can grab 3 friends, but at least 2 of you could do a lot of the most fun parts. Now, one of my favorite things about teaching this song is that when I teach the minor pentatonic scale, that goes like this, I have certain language that I use, just the way I remember the patterns, because guitar is so filled with patterns, is that when we have 2 strings in a row that have 3 fret leaps, I call that shape or that pattern a Layla because of this classic lick. Everybody that knows me as I teach them this scale, they know that the next pattern we see, I call it the Box of Joy, the official Box of Joy lick. And then this string, if I had a 7-string guitar, I could do another Layla. And then if I had a 20-string guitar, it would just keep happening, that pattern of that Layla shape, which is 2 strings in a row of 3 fret leaps, and then the Box of Joy, which is 3 strings and 2 fret leaps. And that would just keep happening as a recurring pattern. So the song starts out with that cool D minor lick. You got to work on your bending. Make sure that it sounds like that tone a whole step ahead. You can always put your tuner on your headstock to practice your bending a little bit, but I think the easiest way and the best way for your ear is just play the pitch you're trying to bend towards and then work on bending up to it. So many other great things in here where he's not just playing the traditional minor pentatonic scale, uses that second note of the scale. And then after they get through that opening lick a few times, they get into the verse, and that verse progression is really interesting stuff. They were in D, and they switch over to C sharp minor, G sharp minor, C sharp minor again. Then you got C, D, E, and then I just played like kind of an E major pentatonic cool lick there. Down to F sharp minor, to B, E, to A, F sharp minor, B, E, A. Now, if that's a lot for you, you can rewind it a few times to get to know it. You also could play this with a friend in the most simple way, where your friend could play something just like this. And then the verse, you could play it like this. Just one note at a time if you'd like. That would just be the way to get to know it at first. I mean, eventually you could play it just two notes, all power chords, you know. But, of course, it's that type of song that once you get excited about it, you'll practice a bunch until you can get it up to speed. Now, those double harmonized guitars way up in the corner there were so cool, just used different aspects of the D minor scale. But if we look at what Duane Allman was playing in his lead guitar solo underneath the verse, so much fun. How did I learn that? Actually, I have this cool tab book. Did I use it? No, I can't find it. It was probably a good thing for any player to not be able to find the tablature, and just make sure you listen with your ear to really hear it. Of course, tablature is flawed, it has no rhythm. You'll have to listen to it anyways. So that part, I believe it was from like 23 seconds in all the way to 40 seconds in. I just listened to that over and over and over again until I got those licks right. And he ends on this C note after playing, and then the band goes to a C sharp minor chord, so he does just a half bend. Then I move over to this B and bend to that same C sharp, so now it's a whole bend. And then you have to do that, another whole bend from A to B. All the other licks just end up in the key of E major for the most part, even though the chords are moving around. They're all in the key of E, so it works. Does that classic country type of lick. So, of course, you got to work on your vibrato. My teacher taught me to kind of bend off this fulcrum. What a joy to play this song. And of course, I think one of the best things you guys can do out there is learn a song like this that's really fun to play. So if you just play along with a CD, you'll really enjoy it. But also to get your buddies together and say, hey, let's learn this song together and really make some music. Maybe even find a drummer, singer, bring it right to life. So, hope you enjoyed my Song of the Week this week with Layla by Derek and the Dominoes, and I want you to have a music-filled week.